Foremost, I want to start out by giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles for the edification and knowledge. And to Wadi Bashem Yeshua, for in the spirit of the elders and apostles, we can become edified regarding this truth and knowledge. Call holy Yahbashim Yeshua, Bashem, Rakakadash. Give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash. I want to go to Nahum 3:1. Nahum 3:1. Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city. Woe is warning for destruction. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not. The prey departed not. So the city was built pretty much on the establishment of lies and robbery, man. Theft and lies. The cover regarding the robbery, the threat, the theft, and the bloodshed, man. Because the shedded blood, it stole resources, lands, and also covered the fact that it did it with lies, man. And it departed not, because it's still present, man. Let's go to Habakkuk 2:12. Habakkuk 2:12. Woe unto him that buildeth a town with blood. Woe is a warning for destruction. And establish a city by iniquity. Iniquity is sin, and blood relating to the sword, using violence, man. So one who did that and established that, that's a warning for them for their destruction, man. And ultimately, symbolically, that talks about Babylon, man. Let's go to Numbers 35:33. Numbers 35:33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defiled the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I the Lord dwell among the children of Israel. So this land has been defiled, man. And ultimately the one who shed the blood has got to be a recompense, man, for the one who shed it. You know, one who shed that blood they had to pay for that blood that they shed it, man. And the Lord's going to recompense them for that, man. Let's go to Genesis 9:6. Genesis 9:6. Genesis 9:6. Whosoever shed a man's blood, by blood shall his blood be shed. For the image of Yahweh made he man. So that's that recompense. I'm going to go with Revelations 13:10. For he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth by the sword shall be killed with the sword. That's a recompense, man. So whatever they done, if they put somebody in captivity, they're going to be put in captivity. If they use the sword and shed blood, then the sword is going to be shed. The sword is going to be used on them, where blood's going to be shed upon them. So that's that recompense, man. And basically, they're going to get back what they're going to get back in return what they did to other people, man. That's going to come back to them. See, ultimately, they are allowed to do it because the power has been given to them. The earth has been given to the hands of the wicked. So the Lord allowed them to do it. But the flip side of it, now the Lord, because they did it, now they're going to receive a punishment, man. The Lord allowed them to do it because ultimately a certain category, groups of people relating to the Lord's people, they sinned against and transgressed against the Lord. So as a curse, these other nations were made to be to rule over them, assert authority and rule over them. So they had their way with them. Micah, Ezekiel 35, and that continual perpetual hatred until no end, man. Let's get it. Because the Lord allowed them to do it out of punishment for the nation of Israel. But those ones who did it relating to those other nations are going to receive that recompense relating to judgment upon them twofold. Now Ezekiel 35 and Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Perpetual means something that's continual, ongoing. And has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, because the sword, that's their blessing, and by thy sword thou shalt live, related to Genesis 27. The force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So they capitalized when pretty much the nation of Israel were at their lowest state, in a destitute state, where they were in a condition of hell dealing with certain things. These other nations capitalized on them. They capitalized continuous affliction upon the nation of Israel because they had ultimately that perpetual hatred, which goes back all the way to Cain and Abel, man. And Esau is Cain is the progenitor of Esau, man. So it goes all the way back to Cain and Abel, man. You know, because he hated his brother, man. So that continued on generation to generation, that hatred. Let's go to Zephaniah 3. Zephaniah 3 and 1, I believe. Yeah. Zephaniah 3 and 1. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. That's Babylon, man. They're filthy and polluted, man, relating to his wickedness. An oppressing city because the Lord's chosen people, relating to Deuteronomy 14, Deuteronomy 7 and 6, 14 and 2, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. The Lord's people are oppressed by these other nations, and they are in their captivity relating to Babylon, man. So woe, we'll read that again, woe to that filthy and polluted, to the oppressing city. That's Zephaniah 3 and 1. So that's a warning for that, for destruction upon that. Let's go to Micah 2 and 10. Micah 2 and 10. Before I go to Micah 2 and 10, let me go to Revelations 13 and 10, because I quoted it earlier. I'll go to it again. Revelations 13 and 10. I'll start at 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints, which are the prophets, starting with the hopeful elect. So that's that recompense, man. So it's recompense relating to certain things that were done historically, and most of all to the Lord's people, man. Bloodshed that was shed upon the land, that has to be recompensed, man, for that blood that was shed, man, upon specific groups of people, man. That's just what it is. It's the Lord's book. It's the Lord's judgment, man. Micah 2:10. Arise ye, depart, for this is not. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, and it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. Arise, read that again. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It's polluted. How is it polluted? Ways of Babylon is polluted by its philosophies, its wine. It's deceived, and it's got the people intoxicated with the Western ways, man. Just look at the state in society, the dynamic of society, and these people, the way they act, their ways, the spirit, the personalities, the disposition relating to their spiritual character and disposition. You know, the spirits that are on these people, the different spirits are on these people, man. They've been Hellenized with the Western philosophy, the ways, the policies, the doctrine, the dogmas, and the ways of Babylon, man. So they've been deceived and been drunken, man. So this is not a place of your rest, man. Depart. Why? Because if you don't depart from it, you're gonna partake His judgment. It's that simple. Because the Lord is going to destroy with even a sore destruction. Major destruction, man. Let's go to Revelations 18. Go to Revelations 18. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from the heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightening with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and a hold of every foul, spirited, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird, man. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. So they committed fornication. They were deceived. They committed fornication. They drunk in their philosophy. And the merchants of the earth will wax rich through her abundance of her delicacies. So they wax rich. America's that melting pot, man, because that's what Babylon represents, aka America. And they wax rich. They profit very handsomely off of Babylon. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive none of her plagues. Micah 2:10, man, rise, depart from me, man. You know? It will destroy you even with a sore destruction. So that's a warning to separate from the ways of Babylon, man. To wake up spiritually, man. Because the majority of our people, for example, they have dry bones, man. They've been caught up. They've become Hellenized, and they're caught up in the ways of Babylon. So, relating to Isaiah 30, Isaiah 31, they trust in oppression, and they trust in Babylon. So they drunken with that wine, man. So the Lord is saying, separate, or you're going to receive the plagues of her as well. For her sins have reached into the heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities for all the things she have done, man. Remember that woe to that bloody city, robbery and lies. So the Lord remembers all these things, man. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. Her works is her, pretty much, in this case, her evil deeds. And the cup which she which she hath filled to her double. So that's that recompense. Give her double, man, regarding recompense. That relates to divine and spiritual justice, man, by Yahweh Shem Yoshai. How much have she glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she say in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and I shall see no sorrow. Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thoughts that they believe their houses will continue from generation to generation. So that regards their pride, man. Number 7. So she believes in her heart she's not going to see no sorrow, man. That goes to that pride. Psalms 49 and 11. The inward thoughts they believe their houses will continue from generation to generation. Shalakia. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, famine, and they shall utterly burn with fire. For the strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. So one day, ultimately, that fire is going to be the nuclear missiles, man. Relating to Revelations 11 and 14, Revelations 9 and 12. Number 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, they were complicit with her, shall bewail her and lament her, for when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Because ultimately they're gonna lament because they no longer can make money off of her. This is the Babylon, aka America, is the marketplace for people to come here and pretty much get that American dream that they sell. You know, the American dream of you can become successful, man. But there's always a catch in the contract, or in the wording relating to the contract. In the small print, there's things in there. So, but the point is, this is the melting pot for the financial mecca as far as making money, man. That's why they come here to America. You know, for these merchants, these businessmen, that's who they are. Read 9 again. And the king of the earth had committed fornication, lived deliciously with her, and bewailed her, and lamented for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour thy judgment comes. So all the years of historical building by the exploitation of groups, by using certain groups and category of people to help build this country, forcefully exploiting them and making them do it. In 1 hour, the Lord is going to judge this place. He's going to decimate it like it's nothing. Because you're dealing with a spiritual power, man. You're not dealing with a normal power, man. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore, no business. And the merchandise of gold, silver, precious stones, pearls, fine linen, pearl, scarlet, and other, and fine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of most precious woods, brass, iron, marble, different woods and different materials, cinnamon, odors, ointments, frankincense, wines, oils, flour, wheat, bees, sheep, horses, chariots, slaves, and souls of men. Number 14. And the fruits that the fruits that thy soul lust after are departed from thee, and all things which are dainty and godly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more. So all the things the delicacies, the good things, the goodly things that used to be, you're not going to find these things. These things are going to be gone, man. The merchants of these things which are made rich by her shall stand afar off from the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. That's the merchants. And the previous verse goes to the abundance of those delicacies, man. These things that makes America what it is, man. That's what pretty much what attracts America to come, the people to come here in America. You're not going to find these things no more. It's going to come a time where these things are going to disappear. "15. And the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off from the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed of fine linen, purple, scarlet, decked with gold, precious stones, pearls." So symbolically, Babylon is dressed to kill, man. The colors of royalty and stuff. But that was just an outward appearance to cover the fact of our inward wickedness, man. That's a facade, basically. Shalakia. Let me find my place. Okay, number 16. "And decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour I don't have no man. Sorry. For in 1 hour so great riches it comes to naught, and every shipmaster, and all the company and ships and sailors, and many as trade by sea, stood afar off." So when the ships and all different things, when they see it, they're gonna all be afar off, man. Seeing pretty much what's happening. Shalaki on the interruption. "And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads, and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by the reason of our coastlines. For in 1 hour she is made desolate." That's what happens. She's made desolate. They also, from the ports, following the port and the ships, the ports, the supplies, man. You got over 100,000 cases of stuff that's offshore that can't be delivered on to the warehouses, eventually to the trucks, to the stores. So it's becoming bare, man. It's becoming bare related to supplies, relating to victuals, supplies, food. So it's symbolically, it's becoming bare. You know, you got stores, the dollar stores. I was saying on a video, the dollar stores are increasing their prices, man. The dollar stores, Dollar Tree, for example, they increasing their prices. You know, I mean, because pretty much America, Babylon, America, because that's what Babylon represents, America, is falling, man. It's falling economically. It's falling socially. It's falling, period. It's falling internationally. It's losing its respect. It's losing its integrity. And these other nations, man, are looking at America like, and symbolically how they're going to look at her. These other nations, how looking at once that great mighty city, man. Now, it's falling, man. You become as weak as we, man. So that's what's happening, man. That's what's happening. Go to 17:1. I'm going to read Revelations. "And there came one of the 7 angels, and the 7 vials talk with me, saying unto me, Come hither, and I will shew thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth on many waters. And that's Babylon, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. They have been made drunk. And these nations become mad, relating to Jeremiah 51:7, I believe. So they becoming mad because they realizing it's not what it's cracked up to be. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman that was a scarlet color, with fine scarlet colored beasts, full of names of blasphemy, and having seen 7 heads and 10 horns, ready to EU, NATO. And that woman represents the daughter of the virgin daughter of Babylon, man, which is America, man, aka America, man, passed down through Great Britain to continuation through America, man. Pretty much the ancient Roman customs, man, through the continuation of America, man. And when the woman was arrayed in purple, which is royalty, scarlet color, decked with gold and precious stones, and having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. She was decked clean. She was decked out, nice looking, symbolically, but that was to cover her wickedness, man. Number 5, we'll read it. Number 5. And upon her forehead was written, Mystery Babylon, the great, the mother of harlots, and abomination of the earth. Because that's what she is, the abomination of the earth. That represents symbolically a woman. That's America, man. America represents symbolically a woman, man. She's the daughter of Great Britain, man. The scripture talking about how her mother is, how she, in a matter of speaking, disappointed in the way our daughter is, man. These other nations, they're going to turn against America, man. They're going to turn against her. You know what I mean? EU, all these other nations, these allied nations, and these other nations, and the Lord's going to put His Spirit to turn on them. So that's symbolic. That's what's going to happen. And through the nuclear missiles, the ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, that's what's going to happen, man. So World War III, that's scriptures. That's what's going to happen, man. And that's what's happening. These nations are beginning to turn on America. They're beginning to turn on her. And these nations, because America is losing the credibility with these other nations internationally. It's losing that. That's why these other nations break that independency from these other nations, from America. You know what I mean? Because they don't want nothing to do with it. So that's what's happening. This was a few scriptures relating to that. I hope it helps whoever listens. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Shalom.